Hello, welcome back to another episode of my Phasmophobia inspired Sims 4 haunted house. All you need to know for this is that I'm making 8 characters from one of my favourite games, which is Phasmophobia, and I'm mixing it in with The Sims 4. I'm going to create a Phasmophobia inspired haunted house where it's a bit like Love Island. On the previous episode I made 3 ghosts, which were the Mayor, the Onryo, and the Shade. I'm pretty in love with them, especially the Mayor. I really like the Mayor. And then in this episode we're going to make another 3. So today we're going to make a demon. Let me check my notes. A demon, a Wraith, and a Deogen. I have some ideas for a demon which kind of, I guess, go around with like a devil idea. A Wraith I'm less sure on at the moment. A Wraith to me is probably the most simple idea out of all 3, so I don't really know what I want that to look like, but I guess we'll get there in the end. It's just a little bit fun because I love both games dearly. So yeah, let's get into making the ghosts. So I kind of started with this base of what I think I want a demon to look like, which I did actually try to record this earlier on, my mic wasn't on. So we were just talking about maybe giving him some scars. My vision for a demon is I kind of want him to look a bit like this. I can only really find female inspiration. It's like they're going to be creepy, but also what I want him to be is a bit of like a seductive character. So on the last episode we made a Mayor who is kind of our female seductress. Charismatic, alluring demon man. That is the vibe. I've also got these kind of horns, which I've got so many horns to play with. I'm pretty sure I've downloaded so much CC and when everything else is sorted and see which horns suit him best. I quite like this first one with like the scars down his eye. Let's just think about his eyebrows quickly, right? I think they need to be like bushy. Bushy as hell. Or they could be like really spindly. That might be more creepy if we do like and then maybe make them a bit more angled. I think I want him to have yellow eyes or some kind of yellowy orange, but I'm not necessarily saying we're going to keep these ones I'm giving him. Let's just keep this in mind for now. Ooh, okay, hate that. Get that off him. A longer jaw and it to come out more. Did I make him a vampire? Sorry, I want him to be a vampire. Let's just skip to that part. I feel like he'd have different ears than that. Like he is quite, they got spiky ears, right? I mean, I guess it depends what devil we're talking about, doesn't it? So maybe let's go into the hair. I don't have many custom content hairs for men, so this might be harder. Ooh, like maybe a little curly. I don't know why, but like, I feel like the devil would have curly hair. I think like a little bit of a frown line, you know? I definitely think we want some darker eyes. It's not going to show up much because of the skin that I've got on. Right. Teeth is where we get a bit crazy.
Excuse me?
Crazy. So a lot of the ghosts we've given this kind of like void, but because he's a bit of a vampire, I almost want to give him this. Now I know this makes him less seductive. I think that's my only issue is like, he doesn't look very seductive with that kind of mouth. And like maybe that's a better option. They're razor fucking sharp. They're gonna cut you. But they're not quite this, you know? Maybe this could be his vampire form. Hair we've done. Facial hair we've done. Right, let's look at hats because I don't know if some of the horns are also in hats. Oh my god, look. There's like little love hearts. Oh, why is that so cute? And we could give him like a creepy tongue. I think he needs wings. I feel like it's only right. Yeah, he's terrifying. I mean, he's kind of cute, but he's terrifying. Right, I want some kind of creepy eyes. That could work. And let's go back to lips. Right, let's make his eyes darker. Right, I'm gonna say this one, and then I think we're gonna have to go heavy on some eyeshadow. Ooh. Don't know, I just feel like I want his face to be a bit darker. So we've got ones like that. Just don't feel horn enough for me. Who says you're only allowed 1 pair of horns? Not me. Not I. Maybe both. I guess this is where we can play around with hairs now. So then maybe let's try and put that long hair on him. No, I don't think the long hair suits. Oh my god, we can like give him stretched ears. I feel like the devil would have stretched ears. Don't know why, don't ask. Just feel like he would. I think he's got to have a septum piercing. Does his tongue look weird? It feels like there's a lot going on with that tongue. I think the blood is nice. Maybe we can't. Do you know what? The more I look at this scar on his face, I think the more it's jarring me because I feel like it's taking away a lot. I'm doubting myself. I'm like heavily doubting myself. Okay, let's go for those eyes instead, right? Maybe the issue is the skin type because I know we have some kind of skin detail on. See that? The minute we take the skin off, look how more aggressive he looks. I feel like he'd definitely have an eyebrow piercing. Something's not sitting right about him and I can't quite work out what it is. Why does his neck have that bump in it? Do you know what? It's none of my business. He would be heavily tattooed. There's no doubt about it. Oh yeah. Okay. You didn't miss too much. I just couldn't show you. I forget that I have Wicked Whims installed. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I need to think about how... Oh Jesus Christ, why are those trousers so high? Let's see who did this to you. Right, okay. So this is what we're working with. Don't mind if I do. I guess like a demon's quite... In my head, they're quite well put together. Like, sometimes they're in a suit, you know? But I think because he's got tattoos, I think we almost want them to be shown. So I think we either need to find something that's like slightly low cut. I know I made him a vampire and that's my own fault, but he's growling a lot. I almost think like we need a smart trouser, but then I'm just like, do we just get rid of the cardigan? Like, do we just have him walking around like this? I wouldn't complain. But I'm not like finished. I would like to try and give him some accessories. If I was a devil, what would I have on? Almost like some cuffs. That does look a bit cuffy, doesn't it? Don't ask. He just feels like he'd be a cuff kind of man. I also feel like he'd have some kind of big statement ring on. I just don't know if I have... Ooh! Yeah, exactly that. And then maybe a snake on the other hand. Yeah. So do we want full claws? I think I want this piercing to be black, and because it's not, it's annoying me. Maybe if these were in black, I think they're quite cool. I think we need to give him some kind of necklace. So I almost like want to give him a bit of a collar, but I think these look a bit kinky. And he's not quite, I don't quite think that he'd be a choker kind of man. He might be more of a this kind of man, you know? Some kind of like random locket around his neck and no one knows what it means, but it's provocative. I know there's a tail somewhere. I think that's the only thing that's like stressing me out is I know I've downloaded a tail. I just don't quite know what category that tail falls into. So what do we know about a demon? We know that in Phasmo, a demon is one of our most like aggressive ghosts. It will hunt you really early on in the game. It can actually even hunt you in the first minute if you're extra unlucky. So I think we need to have a bit of that in its personality. He is going to probably be quite hot-headed. Villainous Valentine. Sims wants to destroy the love lives of all Sims, including their own. I think he needs to almost... Do we want him to be mean? Probably. But that's not going to help him, is it? In his quest. Short-tempered. These Sims get angry and tense very quickly and easily, often for no good reason. I think that makes complete sense. Sugar daddy? I wish. What else is a demon? I'd say like ambitious. I'd say he's quite ambitious. Let's try and find... Yeah, okay. Ambitious. We're going to put in there. I think we've given all of the ghosts disruptive. Because we want them all to be like very mischievous. What else would you be? We obviously want you to be quite seductive, so maybe let's just get that in there now. Like to tease their romantic interests. I mean, he probably does, yeah. Passionate. Very romantic. I think we give him evil rather than mean. And then we give him... I think we give him passionate. So he's going to be short-tempered, ambitious, disruptive, evil, and passionate. All of them. All at once. We're going to think about what colour he'd love. He would love red, and he's going to love black. Yeah, I like him. What do we think? What do we think? What are our thoughts? I do feel like the tail is missing, so I am going to find my best to find that tail, and then we'll get there. I think it would be this. It would be like a tough guy walk, wouldn't it? But yeah, I'm happy with my demon. This is he. Yeah, you give him that scowl. I've done this on the previous Sims. We made a bit of a backstory for them. But I think the demon's backstory is, I'm gonna say that actually he was a cult leader. Basically, he tried to do some kind of ritual and it went wrong. So he's come back. He's incredibly passionate about everything in every different way. But he's also still like very emboldened and ambitious, while now just being a bit evil because he's angry that things didn't work out. So he's very charismatic. So that is my demon from Phasmo. Okay, we have our tail. I'm happy with him. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the Wraith. I feel like a Wraith is quite hard because all I really know about a Wraith outside of Phasmo is just like they look like a kind of like ghouly cape wearing entity. That's the kind of way I vision a Wraith. And I feel like that's probably relatively boring in The Sims. This is the general vibe of what a Wraith looks like. I'd say it's very similar to what the Grim Reaper looks like in The Sims. I just got this Sim off of the gallery and she unlocks all of the career modes because I think it would be good for us to wear something similar to what Grim is going to look like. Oh my god, we could make them like a spooky butler. I think we go for spooky butler vibes. I think what we do is we make this kind of wig white. Okay, and then I think we're going to have him kind of a bit like... He's going to be a bit creepy, I won't lie to you. But I think going with the butler idea is going to work. We'll come back to him. We're going to come back to his accessories and all that kind of stuff. And I think it might actually be better if we do get him killed. I think he's going to be a butler that basically died from doing too much work. So I think once we've made him, we'll kill him. If any of them are going to be a ghost, I think it makes sense for the Wraith because he's actually not going to touch the floor. Okay, let's get into his face. Possibly. Maybe we'll even give him a bit of like a skeleton face. Right, teeth. I think I'm going to give him like the black void that the other ghosts had. A little bit of wrinklage. And a little bit of a darkness. I don't think I want him to have scars per se, other than like the ones that are just randomly on his head as it is. He's a bit like a skeleton ghost. Okay, I'm not too mad at this right now. And then I think maybe we give him a mustache. It kind of almost covers the fact that he could be dead. Ooh. Okay, bear with me. Just hold that thought, because that could work. Oh no, it's not gonna work with a cape, is it? See, I was thinking that we could do this kind of vibe. Because this one will just get rid of his face, and I don't want to do that. This is a bit of a cop-out, but I feel like this is the best way to do a Wraith. So I think we just need to make his face so striking, because his body is going to be pretty boring. Eyelashes. I don't think we want to give him any eyelashes, but if we have like a darker eye we can do, that would be great. Let's have a look what he looks like. I just wonder if there's something maybe more we can do with his eyes then. Like we want his eyes to be red. Let's try him with red eyes, right? And I don't know if you can see them when you're dead. That's my only thought, is like if you can't see his eyes and he's dead, what's the point? Just die for me a second. You know what? This one feels like a massive cop-out, but I just feel like for a Wraith, this is going to make the most amount of sense. He's just going to be floating around. That's all he does. He floats, he roams. There's not really much more to him other than the fact that he's just really active. He's going to be active. He loves a little roam around. So I think we need to have active on there. He doesn't like touching salt, but I wonder what we can like apply that to. Do we want that to be like a clean freak? Is he going to be a bit of a clean freak? It makes sense. So I think we have proper, right? Proper because he was a butler. He's just be doing shit at all times. He needs to be doing shit. Put active down because he is going to be incredibly active. Oh, should we make him a bit nosy? Like maybe as a butler he'd love to like spy on some secrets. I want to make him a bit nosy, I think. I think we'd maybe make him a bit eccentric. Like, yeah, look at him go. Get it, bestie? I don't know, I just feel like he's going to be a nice chap. And do you know what's weird? Is I don't feel like this about Wraiths in the Phasmo. I really don't like a Wraith. They upset me dearly. But I don't know, there's something about this chap. I just feel like he's going to be a happy guy. He's just trying to do his best. I want to do friend of the world. He just wants to make friends. So I think that's what we're going to have for our Wraith. I don't know, I realised like less effort went into his, especially his outfit and stuff because there's just not much to it, is there, really? I think it's the best we're going to get that like is similar to Phasmo in the sense of this kind of tattered, creepy ghoul look is what a Wraith is supposed to look like. He is our butler that died from overexertion, so he is neat, he's proper, he's active, he's raring to go. but he's also a little bit nosy and he's also a little bit eccentric. Generally, lovely little chap, just died too early, you know? He doesn't like to touch the floor, he doesn't like to make too much mess, and I love that for him. Okay, so the last ghost we're going to make today is a Deogen. So, from some research, a Deogen means, I think it's Deogen. I believe it's Dutch. Apparently on Google that it's Dutch for like many eyes or a few eyes. So then I got the idea to be like, oh, okay, what has a lot of eyes? Spiders. So I'm gonna make a spider inspired person. Now I'll show you my inspo. This is the kind of vibe I'm thinking. Something along these lines. Almost like a bit of a spider queen. What do we know about a Deogen in Phasmo then? So in Phasmo, a Deogen will always know where you are. So they can basically, they're a bit like omniscient, is that the right word? They will know where you're hiding. So you cannot hide from them. You can only like run from them. Fun fact is that a Deogen is actually one of my favourite ghosts in Phasmo. Every time it's a Deo, I go, baby Deo. I love it. As long as I'm not hiding, I can loop it as easy as hell. Yeah, I love a Dio, so I'm actually really excited for this one, and I hope I'm going to do it justice. So I think we're going to have some kind of black and red tones, a hell of a lot of spider imagery. That's what I'm going for right now. I think I'm going to actually, interestingly enough, start with this Hollow Knight character just because of the way her eyes are positioned. I am, however, going to make her a fairy. So I almost want to make these a bit bigger and a bit more like slanted down. Ear wise, let's go for that for now, but we want her to be almost red toned, don't we? Right, and then I want her to match her hair color. Let's go into skin details. What does that do? Does that make her eyes darker? Oh, we could have used this earlier. Why did I not think about that? Let's do that. Oh, okay, now is when we're gonna get on to like the spider eyes. So we could do one, could do two underneath each other, and we'll come back to it. Like whatever, okay, so whatever her eyes are, they will change to that. We could do like black and violet. That could be quite fun. I think previously we said black and red though, didn't we? I really hope that like she comes together in the way that I want her to. These to be dark, like creepy, like what she had before. A witch. That's quite cute. I mean, that is long, but it's quite cute. Maybe we have her hair red then, in lieu of not being able to have like two-toned. Creepy, like queenish. I might have downloaded a tiara, but whether that's going to be under here. Oh, look, a crown. I think we give her a crown, you know. Ooh. That could also... Ooh. Oh, there's so many options for her. I clearly went to town. Let me sort her eyes out, because I think that's going to be our next thing. Is like, what colour are her eyes? Does it change her face paint? Oh my god, we can give her like little details. Yeah, like that. I don't mind this red. I almost want it to be a bit more cat-like though. If I have like a cat eye somewhere. Oh my god, we can also give her this. Oh, that might hit even more. Right, her lips are way too small. We're not doing that. Oh, she could have some blood. But then also she might have like little fangy fangs. I think it might be this one. This might be the one. We're onto something. We're getting there. Oh. Is that just like a black one? Yeah. Oh no, sorry, that got rid of my spider. I don't want to get rid of my spider. Where's she gone? Give me her back. Okay. I'm happy with her so far. There's little tweaks I definitely want to make, mainly to like her skin details and stuff. Teeth. We didn't do her teeth before. She's a spider. They have fangs, right? Yeah. Right, I'm not going to give her any brow details. I don't necessarily think she needs any scars. I do want to make her mouth a bit like creepy though. But in a natural way. Maybe like that. These are just a bit more mauve. I mean, I guess maybe. She looks more creepy like that, right? Right, so what I've added in tattoos is just this little blood stain down here. Just, she's gotta eat! Let's have a think about how our spider woman would be dressed. She'd have a big bum like a spider, because Jesus Christ, have you seen some of these spiders? Yeah, well, that's a whole other conversation. And I feel like my inspo has her in like ball gowns. Like she's a queen. And she is a queen, so they'd be right. This could work. Oh, that is not a very nice red, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not in love with it. We could just put her in like a ball gown, sexy ball gown, right? And then just make it stunning. No one's gonna tell me otherwise. Like maybe she's just gonna have some lace. Or we could just do like black gloves. So many new things. You know when you just download a load of CC and it's like, what is this? Where did it come from? Oh my god, have we just made a new dress? Oh my god, I found them. Here they are. Look. Look at that. I think we want a bit of leg, don't we? I'm actually almost going to make her like a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more leggage come out of that. Ooh, this goes under her eye. Oh my god, we can add... Get it. And like I'm seeing the vision. It's just not quite for me. Oh my god, there's a spider necklace? And this isn't even custom content. This is just in the spooky pack. That could be it, you know, that could be the one. That could be the one. Oh, and that made her legs red. Okay, that's a consideration without a doubt. Ooh, oh my god, and it has spiders on it. I think I want to... I think I want her to have red legs. And I think if I put some red heels on... Yeah, this is going to hit different. This feels like pressure. Like, I didn't feel like this was coming together at first. I'll be honest with you. I want you all to know that they would be the ones if they went red. Okay, these are cute. Basic, but cute. But maybe that's just what we need. And then she's got these ones. Ooh, they're kind of cute. Okay. I think maybe a little boot. No, I like it. I think I'm overthinking it a bit too much. But it is because it's quite plain. But then it's like, she's a spider. And like her face is almost the main part at this point, because she's just a little creep. She's a little creepy baddie, but she's a creep. Oh my god, look at her shadow. Look at her shadow. I didn't even fucking realise that. That's, oh god. So her backstory was that she was a young girl living in her village, and she had some kind of magical abilities of foresight and like intuition. She could see things before they were about to happen, and she was generally very clever and observant. And one day she said to her village that there was going to be a plague soon of spiders, and it would wipe out all the crops and possibly be the end of the village. The village people didn't believe her, and of course the plague happened. And instead of like believing her and realizing they were wrong, they turned against her and kind of said that she was the reason that this plague was brought on. So she was actually killed by her own village, and obviously now manifests as one of the spiders that kind of like resulted in her death. So I think if we think about like what her personality would be, so we know we need something that's like around observant. Genius, possibly. I think genius would be a really good one. She's my woman in STEM. Maybe based on her backstory, we're going to make her pessimistic. I'm going to give her analytical as well. Okay, makes sense with the whole spider thing. I'm yet to see like an observant. I thought there was like an observant, perceptive, that kind of thing trait, but ooh, should we give her mysterious? Build friendships slightly slower, yet build romance fast because they're mysterious. Look, I think we give her mysterious. Maybe there isn't perceptive. Maybe I've made that up. Or maybe that was in The Sims 3, because I still get really mixed up with The Sims 3 traits. And gentle. She looks like this. Like, she's gonna look terrifying, but actually, she was just a soft, cute girl, and shit went wrong. And that is my own bias, because I like a Deo, and I think they're one of the cutest. But in my headcanon, a Deo's just a little cutie. Yeah, let's give her Soph. Have you ever seen a spider queen so cute? No, me either. You're so right. That's actually the last ghost we're going to make today. So yeah, thank you for watching. We have one more episode of this, which will be making my final 2 ghosts. If you want to know more, I will be streaming this over on my Twitch as well as on YouTube, and I will do like highlight videos over on TikTok as well. So if you enjoyed this, please don't forget to subscribe. We have one more episode until we are playing the whole thing. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.